Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the James and Sunda Comedy Variety Reality Spectacular Extravaganza Evening.
It is an extravaganza because you know something? The extravaganza starts from like weeks before, months before. Everything always comes back. I'm still getting so many positive emails about our show that we did Stand Up New York in the summer.
Sunda and I did a big comedy event.
Yes, we did.
At Stand Up New York.
Which is right on 78th Street between Broadway and Amsterdam. And it was so exciting to see people I hadn't seen from my high school and grammar school in so many years and not being able to recognize them. That's pretty much was the gist of things.
They just don't look the same, do they?
No.
We look the same.
We look
this is how I looked at 17.
I'm wearing the same hairstyle.
Yeah,
okay,
and I'm wearing the same clothes.
I haven't changed.
I'm the same.
You wore skater pants when I met you.
One time I showed up to do a comedy show wearing like an outfit with the stripes. Remember, it had like stripes like this.
Listen.
And big baggy skater pants. And
I'm going to make
it was like that
description.
grunge look. It was that grunge.
He was
look.
grunge, but he was faking it. You know what I'm saying? He was like
so
faking his grunge. And I said to him, I didn't know you skateboard. And he said, I don't.
I don't skateboard, no. But in my defense, it was like popular at the time. I wanted to try it out, see what it was like to go
Were you
on
any
stage.
funnier?
No, it doesn't matter what I wear.
Do you know why you weren't funnier that night?
I have tried to wear so many different
Do you know why he
outfits.
wasn't funnier? Because
Why not?
the manager, Tim Davis, didn't let him on stage. That's why.
I didn't go on that night?
No!
It was that night when he made me buy sports jackets and said, you're doing a show, you gotta wear a sports jacket.
That's right.
And since that night, I remain
in a sports jacket, no underwear, no shirt,
nothing.
No socks, just a sports jacket.
And that didn't work either.
No, that's true.
Because then the comedy was all from the waist down.
Well, listen, it's called frontal comedy. It's very funny.
It was very funny.
Depending on who your audience is. But back to that.
But you know, Sunda, this is a big day for us. Today is our 100th anniversary. Today marks 100 days since we have been to an emergency room.
Okay, you see that?
We made it through Vegas without incident.
Right.
Right?
Right.
We did. We went to Vegas. No doctor visits.
No doctor visits, but we're not going to let you down. That's for certain.
We're going to get there.
We're going to get there. We're going to get there.
I feel something coming.
I did have the strangest experience this summer when I thought I was going to have to see a doctor because my hair was getting wet in my own home. Do you remember how many times I had a plumber in my house?
Yeah, but I didn't think there was anything wrong with the plumbing.
Well, you see that?
Why was there a plumber in your house?
He's being a nice person. I'll tell you what happened is that I left my husband to do a spot.
She left the husband to see the plumber.
No, I left my husband with the children, and when I came back, there was a complaint that there was, in fact, a flood downstairs. And I just said, Mark, how many hours was Aviva in the shower? And he says, what can I do? What's his big line?
He can't do anything about it.
He can't do anything about it.
She's charging stuff. She's just doing anything she wants, and he's got no control.
Yeah. He has no control.
What can he do? What can he do? She's 12. You know, what can he do? She's 12 years old. The poor guy. I mean, you know what it's like.
It's Aviva and Tover, and this is what they do. So we have a flood, and they were so wonderful about it. Mark says they're going to try to get me for every penny. I said, Mark, we flooded their apartment. Okay?
You know you're never at balance with your water. Like you either have too much water or no water.
Exactly, but it's about water. Am I a water sign is the question.
You are, right?
I think I am. And they say that water brings you good luck, but it doesn't bring you good luck when that happens. So I have to pay that off. Then I call in the plumber, okay? The super comes in and says to me, why don't you ever look like you do on television?
You know, the plumber comes in.
That was bizarre.
Husband's out with the kids. The plumber comes in. The super comes in. This sounds like a porno.
Oh, we don't use those words.
We don't use those words?
No.
What words do we use?
It sounds like an adult film. So here's what happens after that. Now we're getting ready for the show, and there's a lot to do.
Big show. This is big time show business show.
This is big time show because we want to show JLTV
advertising
on the monitors.
The paper.
Right. We were advertising to the Jersey record. Of course, God bless New Jersey.
God bless
Because you
Jersey.
always give us the press we need. And what happened is I was talking to James, and I felt my hair getting wet. But what happened was that there was a leak upstairs because the kids had taken a shower and overflowed. And so guess what they had to do? Take out the whole ceiling, yeah.
Yes.
That's what was going on. The entire ceiling was being removed, and I had plastic under that. And this is during the time I was planning to do this documentary of me going to Patterson. It's like Sunda from the Puerto Ricans of Patterson to the Persians of Beverly Hills. None of that got done because the focus...
This is quite a journey.
This is quite a journey. The focus of my documentary was going to be my dear friend and ally from childhood, Ricky Allen Mann. And guess what? Tell him.
he dropped dead.
Right, he died.
Just dropped dead.
Dropped dead.
Just like that.
Just like that. On a Monday when we're supposed to tape on a Wednesday. So that throws off the schedule. Anybody in show business should know that we're always sorry about the loss of someone, but when it interferes with our schedules,
show must go on.
Show must go on.
You can drop dead every time you want. You can just keep dropping dead on us. The show's going to go on.
The show has to go on.
But Ricky Alaman was that week's out sick.
So yeah, that's right. Ricky Alaman,
he was
you won out sick.
Congratulations.
And so wherever you are, you know that I'm laughing at you.
But the point of the story was we were in New York for a while. We did the show, sold standing room only.
Standing room only.
Standing room only.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's tremendous.
Tremendous.
We then come back to LA, and what do we want? All we want.
Oh, before we left there, wait a second.
What?
Before we left
Wait
there,
a second.
this is so funny because we had a wonderful surprise. We had one of our former sponsors here, Wolfgang Zwiener, come with his wife Elena.
I remember, yeah, Wolfgang.
And that was their first time coming to see us perform live at Stand Up New York. And all I know is that this woman says to me, "You talk a lot. I mean, you talk a lot. For a long time, you can talk a lot. That's a lot of work." And it's really no work for me.
What's it like going from Puerto Ricans to Persians? Because I went from just, Nassau County, Long Island, and the Persians lived a little north of me, so I didn't go from anything to Persians. I just went to Persians.
Well, let's just put it out there. I just love the Persians, okay? They know how to party, they know how to eat, they know how to come in late like black people, so we're definitely kindred spirits here. We love each other. And it's just interesting when I go back to New York because suddenly I think some of these Puerto Ricans I run into are like moms from my school.
Oh, so there's a similarity in terms of that. Okay. I mean, if you had to go across country with a Persian or a Puerto Rican, who would you pick?
I'd probably go North Jersey, go Italian.
You'd go Italian?
Yeah.
Wasn't an option, though.
No. Then I did the Jersey Shore, which we're going to talk about.
The Jersey Shore tour.
The Jersey Shore tour. But prior to that, James and I had the wonderful opportunity of working with Artie Lang, who's going to be, I pronounced his name wrong.
Why not? Artie Lang. How
yeah,
could you say
I said Artie Lange at the end of the interview.
Lange?
And he says to me, Sunda. That's not my name. And Artie's doing a book, and he's
know.
going
He
to be
would
a
know.
guest on here, and he would know.
His
and
name.
it was just phenomenal because he asked me a question about sports, and James always tells me, you're going to get stuck. You're going to be on an interview, and they're going to ask about sports, and you know nothing.
Yeah, and so what did she do? I was sitting there, and she said, "Oh, James does this great bit about the NFL." James, and then Artie goes, "James, why don't you tell us what the bit is there? James, what's the bit?" And I'm like, "I don't have a bit. I don't have a bit
That's
about
not
the
what
NFL."
he said. James
now
said,
I do.
don't
Now
know.
I do have a bit.
James
now
said,
I do.
James
but at
said,
that
I
point,
don't know
I
what
didn't.
you're talking about.
Look, she put me on the spot. I had a phone call with you where I was watching NFL coverage, and I was making fun of the analysts and the way they do the coverage, and I was putting on a voice, and I was doing the whole thing, and Sunda was cracking up, and she was like, "You should do that on stage." But it was just a phone call. 3 months later, she's on the Artie Lang show, and she's like, "That bit you do. There's no bit I do. I've never done a bit."
He does it. He's the best. And let me tell you something. When we come back, we're going to talk more about what James Harris does the best.
I'll do my NFL bit. Now I had to write one because you said,
will.
Yeah,
and I'm going to make sure he does it when we come back. So you stick around and you see what this guy's made of.
Ladies and gentlemen, now joining us on the program, we have actress, stunt woman, and Renaissance woman, Vanessa Vander Pluym. Ladies and gentlemen, Vanessa, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're very popular, and I'm going to tell you how this all started. I'm saying popular. My daughter had a roller skating accident because her school decided that in the morning, a bunch of kids who've never gone roller skating should go roller skating. And she suffered an injury. She slipped and fell and hit the back of her head.
Oh, dear.
And when we went to Disney, actually there was someone who knew you from your roller derby show and said that you wear helmets and that every child should be wearing a helmet. Although I didn't wear a helmet when I was roller skating, obviously, that's why I'm crazy.
I didn't wear a helmet
You didn't
growing up
wear a
either.
But when you were doing the roller derby events,
Yes.
Do you
competitions.
think that kids should wear helmets before we get into that?
I think it all depends on kind of like what they're doing, what their supervision is, like if once they learned how to skate and they're not in an area where a car might hit them or where they might trip over uneven ground.
But even in the rink, what do you think?
Oh,
Speaking of rings.
for us, we're like on a bank track. We're hitting each other. We absolutely need to have the helmets on because sometimes you do hit ground. Sometimes you hit like the bank track is wood, but the inside is cement. So
Wow.
when you get
Cement.
knocked to the inside, you're you're getting knocked a little silly sometimes.
I can imagine.
Well, you know what it was, because I asked Aviva about it, and she said that they had helmets, but the school made a decision not to wear helmets, and I said, why? And she said, lice.
Oh.
Who cares? I'd rather have
That's what she said.
I'd rather have a scratchy
Lice.
head than a broken head, but that's just me.
But as a stunt woman and roller derby performer, what's been some of your injuries? You get any injuries?
I've had a few. I'm actually pretty unbreakable considering.
Okay.
Like my injuries have been minor. I had a freak accident happen where I basically fell 20 feet to cement. An issue with some rigging and everything, and all I did was break my little toe.
That's amazing.
Who is her attorney? Tell us about this show. I'm very excited.
Wow.
I want to go back into the past and everything, but tell us, I want to hear about this show because this roller derby thing is like very exciting according to this woman at Disney.
Well,
It's very
roller derby
exciting.
isn't a show anymore. Like it used to be like pro wrestling,
Right.
you know, when it was the Thunderbirds and all that, and it was on TV and people would watch it. And now it's an actual sport. Like it is straight up sport. There's no theatrics. We are really trying to win. We are really hitting each other. We are really going down.
This is my kind of girl. She's not even from Jersey.
No. It's just in me somehow. I don't know.
That's good.
My
That's a
grandma
good
was
thing.
from New York. Maybe
Really?
that's it. Well, she was from West Virginia. Then she lived in New York. But
Oh my goodness, so she had grits and
Oh, yeah.
some pastrami. I mean, what makes a woman as beautiful as you go into such a combative sport?
well, you know, I know that, you know, the pretty gene tends to like beat out the intelligence and athletic gene and all that.
It's a competition.
But for me, I was like, nope, I'm gonna do it all. I like experiencing life, and I don't want to be limited by what other people think I should be doing because of the way I look. So,
Good for you.
Do you enjoy putting a big hit on
Great.
another skater?
I enjoy taking a big skater down.
Yeah,
because,
right.
Wow, we're liking this.
Yeah.
We're
because
liking this.
it's like for me it's physics, and I don't know if you saw, I have an engineering degree.
I saw that.
So-
Yes, I saw that.
So I like figuring things out. I like problem solving and deciding, like, okay, this skater likes to turn around backwards. What can I do to avoid that and, you know, and maybe take her out in the process? Or, you know, this skater's like a lot heavier than me, taller than me. What is the perfect spot for me to hit to make them go down?
You're very
Because it's all
calculated,
about
yeah.
placement, you know,
She's
it's
not even
finesse.
married.
That's the intelligence gene right there. Coming
Yeah,
out.
so for me, roller derby is my second sport love. The first was rhythmic gymnastics, and I've done a lot of sports in between then, you know, a black belt martial artist and everything, but when I go to bed at night and I'm dreaming about it, and I wake up and I'm dreaming about it, and I'm just thinking about, oh, I could do this and this and this, you know, things that get me excited about life.
Like us in the slots.
The slot machines, right? Well, yeah, that's a sport. Full contact.
Yeah, not anymore.
We got injured. We got injured.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a
Oh yeah,
financial
we got
loss.
injured. Yeah. Still feeling it.
Right.
actually.
But like, so do other women wear makeup and get ready to do this?
Oh yes, yeah.
How cool.
We have
Yeah.
a variety of types in the sport. Some that like to be just straight up athletic, no makeup. You know, they wear longer tights, and they are just the traditional idea of what a female athlete is. And then there are ones that are like, put some false lashes on me and some glitter, and I got the fishnets and that's one of the wonderful things about roller derby. Yeah, I saw those.
Sunda's getting
Now
ready.
make some holes in it, and then you got roller derby.
There we go. That's okay. My kids will take care of that.
Yeah.
Put holes in everything. And my children were also rhythmic gymnasts.
Were?
And so, yes, because now they're focusing more with Debbie Allen and dancing. But that whole rhythmic thing, and do you speak Russian? Just curious, am I allowed to say that?
I always thought that I should learn it, because then I would know whatever
They were talking about, right?
But you competed on very high levels in
Yes.
your rhythmic gymnastic career.
I went to the Olympic trials, and I competed for the U.S. for 5 years, and
That's so impressive,
Yeah.
knowing how much work goes into that and how much goes into the costumes and
you know, it's For me, like I say, if you're a parent, put your kid in a sport and get them to dedicate themselves to something at a young age, because acting requires a great deal of commitment and follow through and the ability to pick yourself back up again after failing. Yeah, and I know.
That's why I don't bother.
I know so many actors that have an amazing talent, but they don't have the follow through and they don't continue pushing. And I'm like, how can you not? What are you doing with all your time? What do you like? I'm just constantly like working at my career. Why are you out at a bar?
Right.
You know? And it's because of the years of getting up at 5 a.m. and training from 6 to 8 before going to school, and then going back and training for another 3 hours, and then going home and doing your homework. And, you know, like you leave the house when it's dark and you come back and it's dark. But the satisfaction you get at the end of that is unparalleled. There's nothing like it. And if people have never felt it, then they don't know, and they don't know that there is that prize for you at the end of all the hard work. You know,
it's interesting because Sue Katz, who's the EP here, we often talk about those of whom don't get up. That's our big thing. They won't get up. You know, you have to get up in the morning.
Some of us can't get up.
There's a little blue pill for people like that, okay?
I was like, there's so many jokes that can follow that. I'm gonna let you take that.
Who
We're
wants
gonna put her in comedy.
have a chemical solution to that kind of problem?
But you're lucky you have one.
The pill?
So now
Solutions.
The
Solution.
We don't call it the pill.
There's
We call
the
it
mechanical
solution.
engineer right there.
As long you see, she's a mechanical engineer and she's
I'm a
working
problem
with
solver.
you. She's a problem solver. She's working with you. She's telling you, don't hesitate. Take the pill.
I'm taking it. I took it today. I take it every day. I'm taking it. I don't think I'm taking it right, to tell you the truth.
Well, listen, look into that camera and tell them.
Oh.
Speaking of right, we're going to be right back, and we'll
Why
talk
don't you
more about
guys
that.
take a pill right now while we're on break, and when we come back, we'll have some
You'll be
fun.
happy.
Yeah,
Yes.
you'll be happy. All right, we'll be right back with Vanessa Vander, Pluym, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. During the break, I was given lots of feedback on my posture.
And that pill is going to help.
I feel good now. Stick 'em out, I believe Vanessa said to
Yeah,
me. So
yeah.
I'm
Stick them
sticking 'em
out.
out.
Stick them out. Bottom first. Bottom first.
So does the mechanical engineering degree and the rhythmic gymnastic background help to design stunts? Those two things together?
I definitely everything in my life
together.
comes together when it comes to doing stunts. You know, having all of the physical training and the acting as well. When you have to play a comedic beat or something physically, or if you're stunt doubling for somebody, to be able to absorb their character and their persona and be able to portray that physically.
I can see being a sponge and doing it. She's very funny anyway.
Well,
It's meant to be funny.
To do the stunts yourself, you have to be pretty flexible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I love any job in this business. It's all a blast,
right?
you know. But if I get to do a role where I get to use the physical and the emotional and the mental, like bring it all together, and whether it's a dramatic action sequence or if it's a comedic one, I love doing it all. I love comedy and drama. You know, as an actress, I love both.
That's us, comedy and drama.
So when you
You're comedy, he's drama.
Oh, please, yes.
I would say that's
Nobody would believe that.
Fair.
Nobody would. You know what I think is interesting is I used to date a stunt double. I used to date Rocky's Sly Stallone's stunt double, Mark
Really?
D'Alessandro. I don't know if you know him.
Yes.
Mark
she wanted to date Rocky but couldn't get him, so
Oh,
she had to
stop
settle
it. He was busy.
for his stunt
take the
double.
stunt double.
But it's such a different
the
world
best you could
dating
do.
somebody who wants to show you something. It's like, watch this. And I was like, what are you doing?
Why would you show me that?
That's crazy. Like, what you guys do are crazy. And Mark happens to be from Paterson, New Jersey. We have a stunt person from Paterson, New Jersey. And no wonder that's where he learned his stunts. I'm from Paterson, which is pretty tough. So he had to learn how to dodge a bullet. But
Dodging bullets, ladies and
to
gentlemen.
see what he had to do, and as you get older, these people, and we also knew one in our comedic lives, they still
We did.
embrace that world of being a stunt person and being able to drop and to fall and, You're telling us about an
I hit
accident.
the ground. I hit the ground well.
She hit the ground. She hit the floor.
That's a thing. Like, oh, what do you do? Well, you know, I'm a ground pounder.
I love this girl.
It's a funny world.
Tell us about the fall.
Oh, it was just, something went wrong and I fell. I came loose out of my rigging and I was in the air with nothing around me. And, at first you're like, oh, so this is how I'm going to die, huh? And then you're like, no, I'm going to save myself. And it's amazing how quickly your mind can think in those moments, Of
course.
And I was able to the second my knee hit the edge of something and I slammed my hands down to scrub off some speed and I just visualized ankles in, toe ball heel, the dance part coming in, right? Wow. And because otherwise you could blow out your ankles. Like I know so many people who have shattered their heels from big falls or blown out their ankles, and I just absorbed the hit and rolled with it. And
20 stories.
20. No, not 20
feet.
Oh, 20
that would
feet.
be death.
Sorry, 20.
That would be a miracle.
2 feet is death for us.
20 feet
20
and
feet is
a toe
high.
injury. I mean, Sunda, you get out of bed wrong and you tear your knee.
And I have to call a tow truck for my feet.
Hello there.
That's okay.
You didn't say that, did you?
No, I didn't say that. For my toe, I had to
Wow.
get a tow truck. Yes, we get these minor injuries compared to what you do.
Tremendous,
And,
right?
But also what I wanted to add is that she has such a sense of confidence. And I think that comes from gymnastics. I don't know why. It's something I've never done.
It definitely comes because it comes from my parents too.
Of course.
They
paid. That's
they're
an expensive
oddities.
sport.
They are very different types of people. My dad does sand sculpture for a living, so that's the family business. I do it with him.
Wow.
and my mom owned her own stained glass and tile shop for a while. My dad was an architect, owned his own architecture firm for a while too. And so they're just kind of like, whatever you want to do, you can do it.
Yeah.
And I think most people hear that from their parents, but then they see them doing their miserable job that they're not really happy with. But I grew up like, of course I can do whatever I want to do. My dad's a sand sculptor.
Sand sculptor.
Yeah.
I think you said hand sculptor.
Oh, that's...
Sand sculptor is a lot of work.
It is.
But I loved playing with silly sand when I was a kid and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But when you have this much stuff on your plate, look how much she has on her plate.
What
do you do on your downtime? Don't tell me.
She falls down.
Yeah, she falls down.
Lately I've been doing some... I've been making some furniture and just doing some
it keeps
work
you,
with my hands.
It helps you relax.
Yesterday I made... I was baking. I like to bake a lot.
Oh, he likes chocolate.
I made mummy cookies and Frankenstein cookies.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm bringing them to a party tonight.
You should know this is not our Halloween set. This is just how it always looks.
That way. So what are your mommy cookies for?
Mummy.
Mummy. Oh, mummy.
They look like mummies. Yeah.
I was gonna say, because if you were to ever have kids, you'd be like, no epidural. I want to do this myself. I could just see her.
My sister did that. I was extremely impressed with her. I was very impressed with her because she was not like me. She was like, out, she'd get hurt and she'd sit out, and me, I'd be like, push through it, And so I was very impressed that it meant so much to her that she went through the whole process. No epidural. She was trying to do the home birth, but there were complications, so she went to the hospital. But she went through it, and I was like
that's a stunt.
Yeah, so if she can do it, I can do it.
There she goes. There's nothing can stop her.
I couldn't do it.
How is dating, though, for you? How is dating? I mean, can you imagine going on a date with her and she says, come on, let's do this. Let's arm wrestle. I'd love for you to arm wrestle James today, as a matter of fact. Can we do that?
Listen,
can we do that, James?
Listen, if I hurt my wrist, I'll need an epidural.
Don't you think we should see James arm wrestle, ladies and gentlemen? I would like to see that. Yeah.
I don't need anybody to see me be more
wrestle.
masculine than
I want to see this. James can't do it. He has great hands, by the way.
I have beautiful
Come over
hands.
here. Let's see.
Okay.
Okay, don't fall.
Oh, dear.
And then maybe on Stuntbusters you could show how this was really done.
Okay. Now, how do we do? What are the rules for arm wrestling?
I don't know. I've never really arm wrestled.
I'm not an arm
I'm very
wrestler either.
weak. You should know.
Kind of,
She got into a position.
Okay.
How do we do this, Sean?
Put your hand right there on the top.
Okay, me?
Yeah.
Very nervous,
I
by
have
the
to
way,
do this?
because
On their hands right here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, look, she's even using leverage right there with her left hand.
She's already got me beat. Just
Okay.
I'm meditating.
Go.
Wait, she's a black belt. Okay, I'm
It's
ready.
African American belt. Be politically correct.
Really?
And 3, 2, 1, go.
You're not even trying right now. Please tell me you're not
I'm trying as hard.
You are not trying. I think he let me win.
No, I have no strength.
Why is your face so red?
Because I'm embarrassed. I didn't even have a shot. I am so weak.
He was a gentleman. He let me
No.
win. He did.
He has a weakness.
I have the strength of a fetus, to tell you the truth. That's how
Fetus
strong
is
I am.
stronger.
Oh my goodness.
Really, yeah. And that, it's going to take.
Are you all right?
I'm going to have to take Advil. No,
I
I'm
saw
gonna-
her hands. I just want to say,
yeah.
when you go back and you do that slow motion thing, she had her
It was
hand
already
ready.
slow.
And then, let me tell you, Sean said that's called leverage.
Well, I'm going to
You didn't
study
have
the film
leverage.
because I'm going to get back into this. I'm going to look at the film and see what I did wrong, and I'm going to come back stronger. But the problem is, look, I did a push-up and I got a hernia. This was a couple of years ago.
You said it was from lifting water. You said it was, listen,
Yeah,
I
his
want
body
to know.
is
Yeah, look at
whatever
this body.
percent water. He
Well,
was lifting
I'm
water.
99% water, and
I want to know where we can find more of your life.
Well,
If anyone
wait.
wants to,
we want to talk about the movie too. Don't forget, she's an actress, and you were just in the movie
Yes.
Return to Joe Rich.
The Return of Joe Rich
Please
is
sit down.
out on
Anybody
Redbox
Join
right
us.
now.
Yes.
Okay.
A Redbox movie. Redbox is everywhere.
And you come from like a mixed background, so I thought that you would like that Joe is Sicilian and Jewish. Like he
A
has.
Sicilian
got
Jew.
enough
What are the odds?
Yeah.
Right. So then what happens is he hates himself and then he wants to take himself out, right?
Yeah.
Because it
Well,
causes him
there's a
anxiety.
line in the movie that's, "I'll kill you, but I'll feel guilty about it."
Ah!
So it
Italian
was
right
written by a man who is Sicilian Jewish as well, Sam
Well,
Oster.
Sicilian.
Yeah.
That's
from,
tough to begin with.
From Chicago.
Chicago. Well, that's
Yeah.
where they're at.
Chicago. And so
And in the movie, you star in the movie. Do you do your own stunts?
There's no stunts in it. It's all acting. And it was really
Tremendous.
funny because there was one day where we're by the lake and it's this like romance, whatever, falling in love kind of thing. It's very comedic and odd. But at one point they're like, so just go frolic. We're like, frolic?
frolicking.
What?
It's good direction.
So, yeah. Well, so we're just like, okay, so we're just like running and like playing and whatever. And at some point, because his character is just very, he doesn't always know the right thing to do. And he starts like punching at me. And I was like, oh no. And I like start, playing back. And I throw some little kick and everyone's like, whoa. Like, because they had no idea. They're like, you have physical background, and and that's actually how I got into roller derby, because one of the producer's wives saw like how physical I was, and she started talking to me about like, oh, what's your background, and then found out like I grew up skating at the beach and everything, and she's like, oh my gosh, I play roller derby. You have to promise me that when you go back to LA, you will try out for the team. And so I did, because I keep my
and
promise.
got it.
Story of
And got
America.
it. You
This is
truly
how we do
are
things.
a Renaissance woman,
That's
without
right.
any doubt.
That's right.
And our rematch, our arm wrestling rematch, will be a pay-per-view event. So
But where can we
don't
find
wanna
her
miss it.
now? Where can everyone see you?
VanessaVP.com, right? No, I'm
Right?
sorry.
And their Twitter?
I have a Twitter at Vander Pluym, and hopefully I've got some meetings about a roller derby superhero project.
Oh, that'd
I
be
can't wait, and I want
tremendous.
to be sure you come back and see us because, Dutch Swedes, we got to stick together. That's all I'm saying.
I was trying to impress you that I knew your website.
There you
Just
go.
wanna
Thank
say,
you. Thank you. It's really hard. It's like my first name and then the initials of
Listen,
my last name.
it was hard for me, okay?
After that pill, it
The
was.
pill's working, right?
pills
So
are
now
working.
it all
You're up.
comes full circle, ladies and gentlemen.
We have to have it back.
Vanessa Vander Pluym, thank you so
for
much.
joining us. Thank you so much.
We got to take a break. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, we have some more of the exciting time we had in the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas. James and Sunda in Las Vegas.
I left LA and I am wearing 2 different shoes.
Beyonce would never do that.
Beyonce would never do that. If she did, it would be a new trend. I'm wearing 2 different shoes and my feet are killing me. They're killing me. Now I'm hoping I can put my bag down and nothing happens. Because, how you doing, gorgeous?
I am doing so fine.
Come over here and tell me. What are you doing here in Vegas?
What am I doing here? Okay, I travel the world visiting my Facebook friends. They pick me up at airports, I'm not kidding, and they bring me home without even a phone call, just a lot of inboxes. And here I am in Vegas.
Wow, that's fantastic.
I know, I love it.
Are you Jewish?
I am such a wannabe Jew. I can't believe you asked me that. I was born and raised Catholic.
So wonderful. You're Catholic. You know any songs? Any Catholic songs?
I am not Catholic. I am a cosmic puppy, one with the universe. I so evolved out of all that. But I'm still a wannabe Jew inside. I'm also wannabe black. Have you noticed?
I'm looking to get a pimp, and I can't find a pimp that wants to hire me. I don't know why. They say I complain, and you know what it is? I need a lot of stuff. Can you help me? I like diamonds. I like shopping.
No, I'm not in that line of business.
Oh my God, I have had some opportunities.
Showgirls, hoe girls, all kinds of girls, all these characters.
You know, these showgirls are very thin, but the problem is they don't eat. They try to get even thinner and thinner and thinner, because I think when they weigh themselves, they don't realize that the makeup is about 20 pounds. Have you seen how much makeup they wear?
How are you girls doing, Alexis?
Doing fabulous. How are you?
I'm doing great, Kamiko.
Wonderful.
These are two beautiful girls that actually want to come on our show and possibly work with James.
Oh my God, you've taken over for Sunda.
Yeah.
Thank God. What kind of work would we be doing?
We're dancing.
We'd be dancing.
They're dancing.
Okay.
Can you show them how you dance, James?
Oh no, I don't dance. I don't dance.
You don't dance?
I can write jokes.
Come on, we want to
Oh,
see.
they dance. Let's
see you move.
I don't move.
Let's see if Alexis can get you to move a little bit.
A little bit of something like this one.
We got music and everything. All right.
Alright, Alexis, how's this going, huh?
It's okay. I think it's better.
I think I need one of these out.
I think you need a shot.
What does he need, Kamiko?
A shot.
You got to get him going, right?
Come on now. I'll give you a girl. Yes.
Put it on. You should put it on.
There you go.
Okay. Oh my God. All right.
Yeah, here we go. Let's go, James.
How do I look?
Fabulous.
Your name was?
Kamiko.
So it's the Kamiko and James show. Look, we've
Yep.
replaced Sunda. Although Sunda wears similar outfits on the show.
How much do I get paid for this?
Same as she does. Millions. Oh, look at that. She's giving you hand sanitizer.
The new hand sanitizer, James and Sunda, is out, okay? It's out and it's great.
This will be good. Look, do a close-up of James and Sunda, please.
I gotta get one of those hats, you know what I mean? I could be a showgirl. I really could be. I'm gonna start the transformation. I just gotta get, hormone replacement therapy, right? I need the outfit handmade. Handmade. Those girls made that themselves. Of course, now all I'm thinking is something my head wore her hat.
I use sanitizer.
I don't know where
them.
she's been.
I use sanitizer. I'm trying to teach them. If they want to get a job at JLTV, they know what to do.
They were really nice. Get a picture of this. Oh my God. Did you see that? That's called being a schmuck, ladies and gentlemen.
All the way from Wind City, you're watching the James and Sunda Show. So much more action is going on than you could possibly imagine.
Too much.
Too much.
Too much. We're gonna overstimulate you now.
Take a look. I don't like to sit near the kitchen because it reminds me of work. And I also don't want to be mopped around. I don't think it's fair to be mopped around at these prices. Should I ask them to leave? Would that be inappropriate? If I didn't have to smell that? Can I ask you a question? We asked him not to mop while I'm eating.
Oh, something fell.
Something fell? Do you believe that? I don't believe that. I just think it's a union thing and that they have to mop, but look at this guy. This should affect the tip because I would be so concerned about my tip that I wouldn't want to see this filthy mop. Oh my God, he didn't even rinse it. All he did was just squeeze it out. You know what I should do? I should ask him to move our table. What do you think? I don't want to eat around it. They have to clean. They can clean when I'm not here. I've been in better restaurants and they don't mop around me. I don't want any problems with you. You know what I mean? because you're handling the food. I'm nice. So I get stuff to happen. Now I'm going to move everybody away because I don't want to smell pine sol over the marinara, and I don't think I'm wrong.
After she's complaining and complaining and complaining about the mopping and she wants to move tables, she keeps saying, I'm not upset with you. Don't spit in my food. You're handling the food. I'm being nice to you. The second table was no good either. And if you notice at the second table, he poured the oil and thought we were going to be okay with that. But that one she didn't like because she could smell smoke. Somehow this table works for Sunda, right?
Love it.
She's going to take a bite and then maybe move.
Chicken, it's great.
It's chicken and then maybe move. I'm not so certain this will be the last table that we're in at this restaurant, but we'll see how it goes. No, she's not picky at all. She's very nice. She makes friends and enemies everywhere she goes.
I just don't think I'm picky. I just think that you're mopping when I'm spending top dollar, unless you're going to come to my house and mop too. All right, nobody's mopping in my house. You know, I know because I'm here.
I'm going to eat this food now. Because you never know when we're going to have to move tables. So I got to hurry up and eat it before Sunda finds something else.
I just sat on this microphone and not this part. That wouldn't be a problem. I busted my butt on JLTV. I busted my tuchus on JLTV. You see what I do for JLTV? I get injuries. I don't charge Phil anything for dinner. I'm getting ready to make this show rock and roll. Come on, Harris, you ready?
I am so ready.
Tell them.
I am so ready. Sunda just fell on this microphone. Believe it or not, it's not the biggest thing she's ever sat on. Hello there.
Trying to say that these pants make me look big. Do I look big in this?
No, you don't look good. I mean, you don't look big in those pants. You look big out of those pants. The pants actually keeps things together.
I'm wearing two different sneakers, and we are getting ready to hit that strip and find some characters and keep going.
Forget the strip. We got to get back to those slot machines. Every minute we're not at that slot, we're losing money. Don't you understand that? We're losing money. Every minute we're not gambling, we're losing. Assuming we'd be winning if we were gambling.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. It's been a tremendous show. We have over-entertained our viewers this evening.
Overstimulated you.
Over-entertained.
Over-entertained. There is such a thing as over-entertainment. But I wanted to go back. I wanted to go back to the Artie Lang story because not only was it so much fun, but I just wanted to say that I hate when James is right. And I'm going to go back to the part where James always tells me, you know, Sunda, you think it's so cool not knowing about sports, but one day you're going to get outed on a show in an interview. And I said, who's going to ask me about sports? And Artie Lang throws a question to me. So thank God, Baruch Hashem, I've got my comedy partner who knows sports. So
it was a miracle I was there.
I throw to him and say, oh, I go, my comedy partner has a sports joke. James, do that thing you do, that bit about the NFL. And he says, I don't know what you're talking about.
And at the time, I didn't know what she was talking about. At the time, I thought she was basically deflecting. But now I do know.
And he's hysterical. I want you to tell them about when the NFL
this is what I should have said.
Okay.
So
regarding the
when you watch NFL post-game analysis, basically what you have is you have a host, and then you have two former players. One is a white guy who was like a backup quarterback. You've never heard of him in your entire life. And the other's a black guy who's like a Hall of Famer, right? And the white guy, since he was pretty much a failure as a player, has to give you this elaborate analysis. He'll be like, yeah, so what's happening here is the nickel, the defense is in the nickel, and the wide receiver's doing a stop and go route, and the safety over here is watching the quarterback's eyes, and as the receiver goes up to get it, the safety anticipates the throw, and then they show this like big body slam of the receiver to the ground, and he doesn't catch the ball at all. While they're showing you all this, right? And he's explaining all that to you. They show you, then the black guy steps in and he goes, yeah, let me tell you what's happening here. And they show you the same exact play, and he doesn't say anything. And then the safety just grabs the receiver, throws him to the ground, and the black guy just goes, you see that? That's a grown man. That's a grown man. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what happened on that play. There's no up and go safety's eyes. That's a grown man. And so, the black Hall of Famer is infinitely better than the white guy you never heard of because he puts it in 4 words. That's a grown man. And that's all you need to know. So now when I watch NFL, I don't want to hear what's going on. I just want to hear, yeah, that's a grown man right there. That man's grown. And so
that's what I
should have said on the Artie Lang show.
Should have said on the Artie Lang show. So Artie, if you're watching, because we can't wait to have you on this show, This is the bit I was talking about. Because James
Brilliant
says
analysis
to me,
by a Black Hall of Famer.
James says to me, don't you think that could have been racist? I was like, James, you do this so well. And then when I have a fight with him, I'll say to him, you don't tell me what to do because I'm grown.
She grown.
Because I'm grown.
Well, I'm
I
a
am
grown man, and I lost in the arm wrestle thing over there.
And
that's
true.
And that's what the black guy would have said if they were doing analysis of the arm wrestle competition. They would have said, "You see that right there? That's a grown woman." And you see that right over there? I don't know what that is.
That he didn't know.
I don't know what that.
But now everybody's talking about your little arm wrestling thing over there. Did she really get you down, or is that your way to get a date?
It's a hybrid.
I think it would be a good match. I think she could teach him a few tricks.
Listen, there was no way I could beat her. She had a grip and just there was no way I could beat her.
But that's a good sign. If she
mean?
can grip your hand.
Now, if her beating me in an arm arm wrestling competition is a turn on or a way in, I can't do anything. I can't diffuse that.
No, you just have to take it like a grown man. That's right.
That's a grown man.
She's going to take you down like a grown man. I have to tell you something. I am so impressed by women who are athletic, by women who are able to do these things, by women who are like this, you know what I mean? I like that. I like that.
Notice I didn't do anything. I did nothing.
I like it. He could just
take it like a grown man. That's right.
But she was able to, she was able to show you the stance. She had leverage. That's what Sean said. See, I didn't know what that was called. You know what I'm saying?
She had leverage?
Right, because when you were arm wrestling, you had one hand like this and one like this. And I said to myself, that's not going to work, okay? With all of that, that's a beautiful girl.
See that right there? That's just called that's like manipulation.
Man.
No, that's ninja stuff.
That's
like
ninja?
my special ninja stuff, yeah.
Show them your hand.
Like right now, even though she won, she's feeling something. And she's not sure what it is. It's like some covert stuff that I did. And she's in a lot of pain. Her arm is hurting. And she's going to regret.
Well, we don't know what happened in between that set, so I don't know why her hand's in pain. Your hand was really in pain, though. That's the sad part.
I'm good, though. Look, it's okay.
And
the swelling has gone down.
Well, you got a pill for that.
Back to the pill.
Back to that pill that helps us with this show.
Yeah.
Here's what I wanted to say is that when I see a woman like that, I'm impressed. And I want to be that kind of woman. I want to know what's going on in sports. I want to be able to put on a helmet and not worry about messing up my hair. Girlfriend had on hair, makeup, muscles, abs to die for.
Thighs.
And she is talking about, get your shit thighs. Yes, she did.
Thighs.
And she was talking about how good it feels to knock somebody down, just like she was out of Jersey.
It must feel so good when you watch football and they knock someone down. They just do this. They do that King Kong thing. They do dances like Victor Cruz. I mean,
Show us the Victor Cruz
I don't
dance.
know what he does. Something like this.
No,
I don't do it.
It's like this. It's like this, man. Come on. We've done this before. We've done this before.
I just think it must
You
feel
need to
so
know.
good to hurt somebody.
Really?
Just knock them down. Like she wants to put a big hit. There are times. There are times when we're standing right here, and I just wish you had a helmet on.
I know you do.
And I just.
Why?
Like that.
Just so I could. So if I had a helmet, it wouldn't hurt you as badly when I hit you and I headbutt you, right?
I have no doubt in my mind.
Let me try.
I have no doubt in my mind that you got the ring advantage. These brass knuckles that she wears.
Well, it's called.
Well, they're not
protection.
brass. I don't want to offend her.
They're
you know
called
what I mean?
protection.
Yeah.
No, they're not brass.
I know.
And they've been appraised. But back.
Yes, they've been
back
appraised.
to everything that's going on. Let me tell you something,
By the
guys.
person who
Everything
stole
that you
them.
everything you've seen here in Vegas, all this footage in Vegas. There's so much more to come. We have so much to show you for the rest of the season, and I'm so excited. Every moment was something. Whether it was the M&M guy, the Mickey Mouse people fighting, us being asked to move 3 times from our seat because they wanted to mop. Listen, who wants to eat and smell pine sol? That's all I'm saying.
Do not mop while she's eating.
Do not mop while I'm eating, because you know something? I don't even like to sit near the kitchen.
Yeah.
Right? What else do I like?
She doesn't even like to see people who work in the kitchen come out of the kitchen.
No, because they do silly things
All
like,
right.
hey, how you doing? How was the food? You're like, ugh, you just went like this,
Even
you
when
know?
the food comes out, she says this was in the kitchen, and they have to tell her no. She doesn't want anything from the kitchen.
James, we were in a Japanese restaurant we could talk about now because it's out of business. We wonder why. And the guy was sneezing so badly and coughing. And so the owner says to me, don't worry, it's allergies. Guess what? Don't worry, it's still saliva. Right. That's all I'm saying. And we don't like swapping
We
spit and
prefer your fluids from your nose and your
to
mouth on our
stay
food
in.
when it's allergies.
That's
if it was a
right.
cold, then we don't want it. But there's nothing like that on rice when you go to a sushi place.
That's true, but we're going to show you our new hand sanitizer that you guys can get online along with an autographed picture.
That's right.
When you write to us at jamesandSunda.com, and also follow us at James and Sunda only on JLTV, where you will see the most magnificent stand-up comedy ever. Right here.
Are you
He's a grown man.
Now, you don't see that much.
He's a grown man.
You don't see someone advertising their show on their show.
Because they're supposed to. They're
You know what
supposed to.
Like,
I want you to
advertise
watch
your
me.
show
Follow
on
me.
other shows on.
No, I don't care.
But
I'm
you know what?
shameless.
It's a
I'm
shame
shameless.
that sushi place did go out of business because they did make the best flu sashimi. It was tremendous.
Oh,
it was
now
really good.
that's a fluke.
Yeah, and on that note,
Yes.
are we out of time?
Yes, we're out of time, but that doesn't mean that you're out of time. So
no,
we'll see you
I hope
next
not.
week.
We will see you next week. Remember, this
still be
season, you will be over-entertained, over-stimulated, over-sunded.
And he'll be over the blue pill.
All right. Good night.